If you hold cryptocurrency, you know that it can be one hell of an emotional roller coaster. One moment, you're on top of the world, seeing financial freedom on the horizon. The next, you're down in the dumps, wondering if you're going to be a wage slave forever. A lot of these ups and downs occur in tandem with the wild volatility of the cryptocurrency market, which never sleeps. The economic uncertainty caused by the pandemic just adds fuel to the fire, and the excessive overreach we've seen from governments around the world has left many wondering whether they will even be able to enjoy any of the wealth they've accumulated by investing in cryptocurrency. Now, while these very real conditions cannot be completely done away with, there are ways to minimize their impact on your daily life. There are things that you can do that will help you keep calm so you can call the right shots with your cryptocurrency investments and make the most of your days. So today, I'm going to cover a few of these tactics. For some, these tactics will be helpful, and for others, they could be life-changing. These have all worked well for me in the past, and because I don't like the idea of any of you lovely people going through the kind of crypto-related stress I've experienced before, I thought I'd share them with you at the end of what's been a pretty darn stressful year. I hope they help. Before we begin, I need to level with you. I am not a financial advisor, and nothing in this video should be considered financial or investment advice. That said, there will be no shortage of general advice during this video, and I want you to know that you're not obligated to take it. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome. My name is Guy, and my mission is to bring you the highest quality information about everything cryptocurrency. Coin reviews, trading tutorials, market insights, and notable news are just a few of the topics I cover on a regular basis. If this is the sort of stuff you see on your YouTube homepage, make me a part of it by hitting up that subscribe button. Pinging that notification bell will make sure none of my videos fly under your radar. Also, take note of the timestamps I've provided below. They'll help you get around if you're pressed for time or have a particular topic in mind. Alright, that's enough tongue flapping. Let's get yapping. If you feel like the crypto market is regularly wiping the floor with your emotions, the first thing you need to do is evaluate your lifestyle. Now, believe it or not, things like sleep, exercise, and diet can often have a greater influence on your emotions than anything external, especially over long-term periods. Keeping these fundamentals in check will also improve your productivity and decision-making, both of which are paramount to maximizing your crypto profits. Sleep is arguably the most important of the three, since it has an impact on your ability to exercise and control your cravings. In case you didn't know, the average person needs at least 8 hours of sleep, and getting less than 7 hours of sleep causes measurable damage to the brain. Now, if you're rolling your eyes at this, I recommend looking up a chap named Matthew Walker, the world's leading sleep expert. In his own words, quote, "Based on the weight of probably now about 10,000 empirical scientific studies, the number of people who can survive on 6 hours of sleep or less without showing any impairment, rounded to a whole number and expressed as a percent of the population, is 0. I'll leave a link in the description with an in-depth interview with him if you're interested. I strongly recommend watching it if you're having trouble sleeping or feel that you're not getting enough quality sleep. My personal pro tip is to get into the habit of putting your phone on airplane mode at night. You might be surprised at how much this simple change will improve your sleep. Although the health standards for sleep are more or less universal, what you need to eat is a different story. Spoiler alert, as well as not being a financial advisor, I'm not a dietitian, but I do know enough to know that most dietitians are full of shit. Never mind the influence of certain giants in the food industry who create the nutritional standards in places like the United States. I reckon that what someone needs to eat to be healthy tends to vary from person to person. That said, there is one very simple rule you can follow to make sure you eat healthily, and that is to eat home-cooked food. And no, microwave meals don't count. I know that this prescription will again make some of you roll your eyes, but consider this. Not only is it much more difficult to make unhealthy home-cooked food, but doing everything in-house also means that you'll have more money left over to invest in that altcoin you've been considering. Pro tip, get into the habit of doing a weekly or bi-weekly meal prep. In addition to saving money, you'll save a load of time and will never have to ask yourself what's for lunch or dinner. You can also experiment with things like intermittent fasting, reducing your carbohydrates and eating less animal-based fats. Whatever you do, remember to eat, because many studies have found people who are hungry are more prone to taking risks, which means bad investment decisions. Most people are also apparently dehydrated at any given time, so remember to drink lots of water too. The last lifestyle factor you need to assess is exercise. The modern world can make it easy to forget that the human body was designed for physical work. There are many benefits to exercise, but the most relevant one for this video is stress relief. In addition to the chemical changes that happen in your brain, it's kind of hard to think about anything else when you're pumping iron or sprinting up a hill. Similarly to diet, how much exercise you need and what kind of exercises work best is something that you need to figure out on your own. That said, I recommend working out at least 4 or 5 times a week and tackling the movements that are natural to the human body. These are push, pull, squat, hinge, lunge, press, and carry. Walking, jogging, and/or running should also be a part of your exercise routine. I know that many of you watching this are currently in lockdown, meaning that any gyms or sports facilities in your area are probably closed. But there are a lot of different home workouts you can do, and I'll leave links to a few good ones in the description for your convenience. Now, I know firsthand that home workouts kind of suck, and not all of you will have the space for them either. So assuming that you can go outside, then that's where you should go to exercise. If you live in a city, try and see if you can find any of those outdoor gyms where you can do basic exercises like pull-ups, push-ups, leg raises, etc. In the summer, I bought TRX bodyweight equipment and set it up on our roof terrace over here. Have to make the most of that shy British sun after all. And pro tip, don't use your phone when you exercise. Not only will it reduce the quality of your exercise, but it will also keep reminding you of the stuff that's stressing you out in the first place, whether it's the crypto market or something entirely different. Exercise should be your time to completely disconnect from everything else. If you have a solid sleep schedule, a healthy diet, and a robust exercise regimen, but still feel like you're being psychologically wrecked by the crypto market on a daily basis, the next thing you need to do is ask yourself if you've invested too much into crypto. If more than 90% of your money is invested in cryptocurrency, you might want to consider taking a bit of profit or selling a few altcoins that you know deep down don't really have much potential. If you're not sure if you're overinvested in cryptocurrency, here's a simple thought experiment to find out. Every country on Earth simultaneously bans cryptocurrencies, and they all go to zero. You also lose your job after having an aggressive mental breakdown because of this. Can you still pay your bills next month? The fact of the matter is that you need to have some fiat in the bank, especially during times like these. More importantly, being overinvested in cryptocurrency is going to make it really hard to exercise good judgment when volatility strikes. Watching your net worth drop by 60% is something that very few people can tolerate, and it's why we saw so many long-term hodlers sell their Bitcoin during that flash crash in March. The crazy thing is that the type of person who sells when the market drops by 60% in a day is the same type of person who'll sell when the market goes up by that amount or more during the same time frame. These investors are referred to as weak hands, but I reckon the strength of someone's hands is relative to how much they're holding. Someone with 10% of their net worth invested in cryptocurrency will have an easier time holding onto their bags when the market is volatile than someone with 90% or more of their net worth invested. As such, try reducing your exposure to cryptocurrency and see if this improves your mental health today. If it doesn't, reduce it a bit more and reassess. Once you find that sweet spot, it will be possible to be less emotional and more strategic when the bull market really starts to take off. If you're allergic to fiat currency and insist on being all in on crypto, I suggest creating an emergency crypto fund consisting of a stablecoin like USDC and/or a gold-backed crypto like Pax Gold. Both can be redeemed for fiat from the companies that issue them. Try and hold enough of these too so that you can still pay your bills if all your other cryptos take a nosedive that you aren't sure they'll recover from. You can learn more about tokenized gold by watching my video about it here. If you're certain you've not overinvested in cryptocurrency but still feel that the crypto market rules over your emotions, then take a second to think about the expectations you have for your investments. This is because the disconnect between expectations and reality is one of the primary drivers of emotional distress. It's why religions like Buddhism consider desire to be the cause of human suffering. It's not really the desire itself that's bad. It's the expectations it generates. As you may have noticed, there is no shortage of unrealistic expectation in the cryptocurrency space. Heck, almost every cryptocurrency video on YouTube is about how this or that coin or token will go up by 100x or more in a certain time frame. All this hype makes it really hard to set your own expectations for the cryptocurrencies you're invested in. Price predictions are also routinely covered by cryptocurrency news outlets, which really doesn't help. Take a second to compare the crypto market to other financial markets. The double-digit percentage gains we see on a daily basis in crypto can take months or years for stocks, bonds, and even precious metals. This is because the cryptocurrency market is still small compared to other markets, meaning there is a lot of room for growth, especially among low-cap altcoins. Returns on investment of 10 to 20x are consequently very common in the cryptocurrency space. Yet I can bet that many of you are looking at your favorite cryptos and wondering why they've only gone up by 5x or haven't reached the outlandish price points your favorite crypto personalities promised they would. Don't get me wrong, cryptocurrencies do have the potential to give you financial freedom, but just because it's a faster way of getting there than other investments doesn't mean that it's going to be one giant shortcut. You need to have realistic expectations, and this includes being aware that financial freedom via crypto is going to take a bit of time, a bit of effort, and a whole lot of luck. Although I can't tell you exactly when your favorite cryptos are going to moon, you can watch my recent video on how to put together your ultimate altcoin exit strategy by clicking here. If you're confident that you've set realistic expectations for your cryptocurrency investments, yet you still find yourself being dragged up and down with the crypto market each day, it's time to reflect on the specific emotions you're feeling and how they can be addressed. When the cryptocurrency market goes up, I imagine you feel pretty good. I know I do. These positive emotions are great, but it's important not to get carried away. After all, what comes up must come down, and the faster it rises, the faster it will fall if and when it does. Keeping this in mind will help make sure those feelings of happiness and excitement do not turn into mania. However, something tells me that it isn't these positive emotions that get the best of you. It's the fear and the doubt you feel when you see your favorite altcoin being gutted on the hourly chart. During times like those, it feels like there's nothing you can do but hope and pray that you don't lose your gains or worse, go into the negative. And that's where you're wrong. The antidote to feelings of fear and doubt is a combination of knowledge and action. The knowledge you need in this case is technical analysis. In case you didn't know, technical analysis trading is much more than arbitrarily drawing lines on a bar chart. It's actually an ancient art of analyzing price patterns driven by the same emotions that lift you when prices rise and crush you when prices fall. These emotions are predictable, and the price patterns they cause have been repeated across financial markets for hundreds of years. I've made 2 videos on this subject, and I'll leave the links to those in the description. I strongly recommend watching those if you're unfamiliar with technical analysis. Now that said, it's not enough just to be familiar with technical analysis. You have to actually use that knowledge when you see the price of your crypto moving up or down. It's not something that you'll learn to do overnight, so don't give up if it does not work out the first time you try. Set some money aside and practice every day. Eventually, you'll be experienced enough to know when there's cause for concern and when it's time to take some profit. If you've done everything I've recommended in this video so far and still feel like you're a crypto yo-yo, then there's really just one more thing you need to try, and that is to take a break from cryptocurrency. Too much of anything is no good for you, even if it's a new asset class consisting of technologies that will change the world forever. Every so often, you should close the 15 tabs you have open, take a bit of profit from your best performing alts, and just live it up a bit. I promise that the wild world of crypto will still be here when you get back, and any profits you missed out on will be negligible in the long run. You might even gain some new insights into your investments when you take a step back for a day or two. Most importantly, having more in your life than crypto means it will play a smaller role in your mental health on a day-to-day basis. I know that the current situation means it's not possible for many of you to go out and do something, much less go on any sort of elaborate holiday or trip. Heck, I'm stuck on an island that many countries have now drawn the drawbridges up from. But luckily, I do not actually have to go anywhere to let loose and have a good time. If you're a cryptomaniac like me, you probably have friends and family who are wondering if you're still alive. I reckon it's a good idea to hit them up from time to time and see what they've been up to. After all, when all your investment dreams come true, you're going to need people to celebrate with. I mean, what's the point of being rich if nobody's looking, right? And there you have it, folks, my step-by-step guide to keeping your cool in the crypto space. A lot of what goes on in your mind starts with your body. Getting at least 8 hours sleep is necessary for the average person. Just because the crypto market never sleeps doesn't mean you should stay up with it. Ensuring you get enough rest will make it easier to take in the information you need to make good investment decisions. Having a proper diet is also critical. Eating home-cooked meals is an easy way to stay away from the toxic oils, processed sugars, and artificial fillings that make you sluggish both mentally and physically. It has the added benefit of saving money that can be reinvested, and also saving a lot of time if you decide to meal prep. Adding exercise to your daily routine will help manage stress, improve the quality of your sleep, and give you a little break from your daily grind. Even though many gyms and sports facilities around the world are closed, there are still many ways to have an effective workout at home or outside. After addressing these physical factors that might be impacting your mental health, make sure that you aren't over-invested in cryptocurrency. Having too much of your capital invested in crypto not only puts you at financial risk, but it will also make it hard to hold on to your crypto when it dumps and when it pumps. Managing your expectations will also go a long way in keeping you sane both inside and outside the crypto context. It can be easy to get caught up in all the price predictions and take them as gospel. Financial freedom is possible with cryptocurrency, but achieving it requires the awareness that it's not going to come overnight. Setting realistic expectations will make sure you don't get crushed by disappointment when your favorite crypto pulls a 10x instead of a 50x. Similarly, being familiar with technical analysis will make sure you won't get too euphoric when you see the market pumping and won't experience crippling depression when it dumps. The antidote to the fear and chaos is knowledge and action, so be sure to practice technical analysis in addition to learning about it. Finally, remember there is such a thing as too much crypto. If you can't seem to shake off the emotions the market's making you feel, well, it's probably time to take some profit or accept your losses and just step away for a bit. Taking a day or two to get out of town or reach out to friends and family is a great way to blow off steam, and it will add the much-needed balance that often disappears when you get too deep into crypto. After all, we're going to need people to brag to when we all get filthy rich. If you found these recommendations helpful, let me know by hitting that like button. Take a second to subscribe too if you haven't already, and remember that pinging the notification bell will make sure you don't miss my next video. I've also got a few treats for you in the video description. I regularly post memes and exclusive behind-the-scenes content on Twitter and Instagram that you won't see anywhere else. I give in-depth crypto market updates and alerts on almost a daily basis on my Insider Telegram channel. I also moonlight as a t-shirt merchant, selling this and many other nifty t-shirt designs on the Coin Bureau merch store. Finally, I send out a weekly newsletter containing valuable crypto insights, analyses, and other information about the crypto space that might have slipped your newsfeed. Now, the new year is just around the corner, and I need your help to make it the best year yet. So, what do you want to see more of on this channel? And what sort of crypto content do you think is missing? Let me know by leaving a comment below. I look forward to reading them all, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one and beyond into 2021. Guy, over and out.